money. Oh, welcome back to Strongman Personal Finance. Don't forget to buy my course, bro. Wow! Welcome back to Strongman Personal Finance. We got a sponsored video today. That's right. Somebody paid me $50 to react to this video of Nikola Corp, or whatever you call it, the total massive giga clown stock company, fraud company. And if you want a sponsored video, see the pinned comment below at the conclusion of this video. You pay me $50, I make a video about whatever you want me to talk about. Doesn't have to be about stocks. I don't do stock price predictions, okay? I don't do valuations. I'm a certified public accountant. I will look at the 10K, the 10Q, and the financial statements, or react to a video about a company, okay? So let's go ahead and dive into this reaction. And I have not watched this. This is a live reaction. Hopefully this is entertaining, okay? Nikola breaks the egg. Okay, we're sharing. Nikola breaks the chicken and egg dilemma over hydrogen with heavy-duty fuel cell trucks on the road. Now we got to go ahead and pull up. Nikola stock here real quick because we got to check the financial statements because this company's going to change the world, right? But do they make any money? Are they? What's going on? Well, we'll see. So here's old Egghead here. This is apparently the CEO, Steve Girthy. Only girthiest is freaking Egghead. I don't know the guy. Maybe he's a cool guy. All right, let's go ahead and dive in and see what the CEO has to say about liquidity. Okay,
let's talk about liquidity.
And oh, by the way, we're going at 1.5 speed because I can already tell this guy's voice is going to make me want to stab my orbital holes with something very sharp.
Again, it looks like, based on what we heard on your most recent earnings call, that you've got about enough cash at $253 million, give or take, of free cash right now to get you through kind of the end of the year. You got some leeway, I guess, or whatever you want to call it, through your most recent reverse stock split. That gave you a little breathing room. And it's clear that you're making progress on the order front. You beat top and bottom line in the second quarter. Yet cash could be a big issue. What kind of runway do you see right now?
Tom said, okay, I was like, so I got the wrong guy. But they're both bald eggheads. So the interviewer is the guy that we saw first. Egghead 1. Egg 1 and Egg 2. We'll call him over medium. We'll call him well done. Okay, or whatever you freaking call eggs. So the guy said that Nikola beat on the bottom and top lines. What did they beat? Negative 10 trillion of profit? Let's look at the most recent profit of, I don't want to say the word. I'll get in trouble. So they only lost $133.67 million in the last quarter. So they beat, what did they beat? Negative 150? What's the EPS? EPS negative 2.86. Wow, that's a beat. Revenue is 31 million. Oh man, I'm so impressed with Nikola. They beat. You can spend anything to be positive, man. All right, let's see what Egghead well done has to say.
Said on the call, we want to have 6 months worth of runway. We had that at the end of the second quarter. We will need to raise more cash going forward. We have plans in place to different avenues where we think we can get it, and you'll see more of that. You'll see more of that.
Okay, well,
who's going to give you cash? Who is going to give you cash? What kind of degenerate is going to loan this company money or buy shit? Oh, never mind. I forgot that there's a YouTube audience that likes clown stocks. Okay. Well, we got plans to get cash, and we'll go check out their cash burn in a second. Okay.
Dilution has been a big issue. Are you talking about more dilutive kind of stuff or something else?
We look at dilutive and non-dilutive ways to raise cash in this company. Internally, there's a lot of cash. There's a lot of money tied up in accounts receivable and receivables outstanding. There's money tied up in payables. Those are things we can work on internally, but we'll need external capital also.
Okay.
There's money tied up in receivables. Like, that's just such a weird way. Receivables is just money that's owed to you, and payables is money that, debts that you've incurred that you haven't paid with cash yet. It's tied up, huh? So they do have 40 million in receivables as of 6/30. And they have about 258 million of cash and short-term investments. So on the surface, it looks like they're, they got a decent amount of cash, right? Look at the cash. Look at the cash and short-term investments. What do you notice here? Okay, look at the beginning. You see a massive increase, right? And then it just goes down at a 45-degree angle. okay, then you could see it goes up again in 2023 because they issued more shares or debt or whatever. And now it's coming back down again. Okay. This is a cash burning business. You can clearly see the trend is like, it's like you had some girl got implants, but she only got one implant. That's what the trend looks like here. Okay. The trend is not good for cash and cash equivalents because they're not really making any money. Freaking eggheads.
Well, I know you don't control the stock market. You worked on it once upon a time, but you don't have any control over it. What catalyst do you see that look good for you, look good for Nikola in the market?
So doing what we say we're going to do is a big catalyst. We said we're going to add more customers. To the extent we add more customers, you saw Walmart Canada. We have lots of big customers that are trying our trucks. Some are in demo stage, some are in early purchase stage, some are working through the legalities of purchasing. We can't control their timing. They announce these on their timeline, not our timeline. All we can do is continue to run our business. So doing what we said we're going to do, deliver more trucks, deliver trucks to bigger fleets, bigger name fleets, logos as we call them, put more stations in place, getting people to use our stations, validating this ecosystem, we think will bring interest to this company.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, they are growing deliveries. I mean, we can clearly see their revenue went up $31 million, and they only lost in one quarter $133 million, like out of off of revenue of 31 million. What is their profit margin? Negative 426%. Wow. That's crazy. I guess compared to prior quarters, that's good. We're expanding, and we're on their timeline. Well, you don't got a lot of time there, buddy boy.
I saw, and I'm sure you did too, on social media, a whole bunch of JB Hunt trucks that looked a lot like Nikola fuel cell trucks. You alluded to a big multimodal company on your most recent earnings call. Is that the match? Is Hunt kind of coming on board now with this?
These guys, the customers announce on their timeline, not our timeline. That's all I can say. But we have Alan, we have lots of customers trying our trucks. Some are in demo stage, some are in advanced demo stage, some are working through legalities of how do I actually deploy these things.
Yeah.
Okay, they're trying your trucks. That doesn't mean anything. They're probably be like, yeah, this is a piece of garbage. Your company's about to go bankrupt. Because I saw Strongman Personal Finance on YouTube, and he looked at your garbage financial statements. So no, we don't want your freaking garbage roll downhill trucks.
Tesla made practically all of its money early on selling, pollution credits, right? I mean, that was really all they were reporting for the longest time in terms of, positive numbers. Now, you have just begun the idea of selling NOx and advanced clean truck credits. You got some contribution in the second quarter. I don't know if you want to share how much that was. How do you see this playing out, going forward? Is this now another stream of revenue for you that you see being, a growth opportunity?
Imagine you're so desperate for growth opportunities that you're talking about selling government credits.
This is an example of non-dilutive capital, so to speak. And again, was a small number in the quarter. We're just getting on the field with this. We're just trying to figure this out. This whole process. This credit market is very opaque. It's not clear. We got credits. I think Tom said a number. Was it 25 to 50,000, something in that zip code per truck? Yep. We don't bank on that, but it's out there. And again, the more trucks we sell, the more credits we generate. And frankly, listen, at GM, we bought a lot of these credits. Right. Don't get me wrong. And I think that's what the bigger guys, the diesel guys, will do. What does it cost me to put a diesel? What do I make on a diesel? What would I lose on jamming a zero-emission truck in the market? And can I just buy credits to make it easier?
Sounds a little bit like a bookie. You get something on each end. I mean, if you can sell credits to a diesel maker that, and again, with the pull ahead, which we haven't gotten to, but we're looking at 2027. A lot of these guys are going to have to pull ahead. Maybe they don't want to go to your truck right now, but you've got
2027. This company's on the verge of burning all of its cash in the next 3 months. Why are you talking about 2027? How are you going to freaking survive?
Credits that presumably you could sell them, and that helps you, scale, I suppose, right?
It's another way of funding our business. It's not on a Tesla scale, but it's an incremental source of revenue and capital that we didn't have before we were producing trucks.
Sure.
Yeah, your credits aren't going to save you there, egghead.
Okay, so incentives in California mostly, and some other states, drive a lot of purchase consideration. You've got 99% of the HVIP vouchers, and no, I'm not going to say what HVIP stands for, it's too hard. But you got 99% of those in California, and you're converting a fair number of them. Was it 350 or thereabouts so far? When do you see fuel cell sales standing on their own without incentives, or, and I'll give you an out here, will those incentives morph into things like the DOE's hydrogen hubs, where there's, funding available there?
What we're finding, Alan, so the answer to question one is it's going to be some time. We need to build scale. I mean, we're only targeting 300 to 350 trucks this year. We need to build scale to drive the cost down. And there'll be continued modest cost declines over the next few years. And then we'll get into next gen where there'll be a more material cost.
You don't have a few years. Okay, he's right. Basically, the reason they have a gross loss is because they don't have the economy of scale. They probably have a huge factory or whatever, and they're only putting through a couple trucks, and all the cost of the factory is allocated to spread over a few trucks. So that makes the cost of the truck, the accounting cost, very freaking high. That's why they have losses, massive losses, because they haven't achieved the economy of scale. The question is, can they survive long enough to achieve economy of scale? And even if they do survive, how diluted are you going to be? I mean, it's bad. It isn't good. Revenue's all over the place. It's freaking low. They're losing $133 million in the last quarter. We'll go look at the cash burn later. It's a disaster. Oh, but it's the filter, bro. My CEO wears glasses. That means he's smart.
Decline, but we need to drive the cost down. We need scale to drive the cost down. Incentives in California help. There are other states that are pursuing incentives. They have this FOMO going on. They want to be able to play in hydrogen, play in zero emission, so they're offering incentives on their own. And there's also the stick, the regulatory environment, namely, I need to have a certain percentage of my trucks on the road be zero emission by 2027 and up.
Or I buy credits to make sure that happens, right?
Yep.
Okay, got it. All right, so let's talk about BEVs for a minute. We're seeing some slowing all across the market for battery electric trucks as the pre-buy, kind of gets going. And we don't know exactly where that is today, but it looks like, 25 and 26 will be pretty heavy years ahead of the 2027 EPA emissions. I know you're watching all of that. You wanted to be in the market with both BEV and fuel cell trucks. How do you see the demand and the environment for especially BEVs right now?
So right now, we are in the process of getting all our customer BEVs back to them. It's taking longer than we thought, but it's still happening at a decent clip. After that, we're going to get all the dealer trucks and inventory back to them, and then we'll start selling battery trucks out of our own stock, or new battery trucks, starting in the first quarter of next year. I would say that almost all of the dealer trucks that we are putting back out there are spoken for.
Okay, so
there's customers. So you said there's a slowing of demand. We don't see that yet.
Okay,
we don't see it yet. That doesn't mean we won't see it, but we don't see it right now. We see the dealers wanting every truck they ask for to get back faster than we can supply it, and we're getting inquiries on next year.
Well, of course, those trucks had been out there and came back, and now they're going.
We would like to potentially get one truck from you, sir. Oh, we got inquiries from last year or for next year.
Back out. So I'm not sure that that's an equal counting against, say, new orders. You had an order, I believe, for 40 trucks or something, 40 BEVs that was actually placed with you. And, the last I heard anyway, you were going to do BEVs on an order based as opposed to, building for dealer stock. That's still the plan?
Yeah, and that'll start early next year.
Okay, got it. All right, so hydrogen itself.
Sure.
Hydrogen ICE is now getting internal combustion engines. Is getting a lot of attention in Europe. You said recently that you just traveled the world, and you probably know the European governments look kind of beyond this small amount of nitrogen oxide or NOx that they produce. They're going to call them zero emission. If the U.S. government clears the way for hydrogen ICE in a similar fashion, are you in a position from a distribution of hydrogen standpoint to take advantage of that? In other words, you've got fuel, and if it's going to be a direct, fuel, would you be in a position to participate there?
Absolutely. So we're agnostic. We're not. It's not a closed system. We told lots of players in the ecosystem that they want to fuel in our locations. They're more than welcome. The fueler coming up in Santa Fe Springs that's opening Monday will probably fuel others. We've had inquiries from someone else to fuel in one of our Long Beach sites. We're happy to accommodate anybody.
Okay. So, a lot of times, especially with drop-in fuels like natural gas and I presume hydrogen, when it gets moving, that's going to be behind the fence. Are you looking at perhaps even putting HYLA, operations of the modular fuelers behind the fence for somebody if they want that? I mean, you wouldn't turn that down.
Some customers have asked for fuelers on their site, and we are open to accommodate that. We're helping them with that.
Yeah. Okay. So when we think about
it's just like these general vague answers. Like the beauty of looking at financial statements, obviously it's not the whole story. Investing is about the future and what's going to happen in the future and all that crap. Right. But the beauty of finance, like he does all these answers. Oh, we have interest here. We have interest here. We have inquiries here and inquiries there. They're selling almost nothing. And they're burning cash hand over fist. And their stock is sold off massively. Let's look. How much is their stock sold off? Companies like this, how are they going to raise capital? Unless, like, out of the blue, Saudi Arabia comes in and gives them $10 billion for 110% ownership of the company. Like, it's reached a death spiral. This is the death spiral. Their stock price is so low, even with massive share issuance, they can't generate a lot of cash. Or they load on a bunch of debt, convertible debt, which is another form of dilution. Or they just take on regular debt, and guess what? They can't afford the interest. Who's going to loan them freaking money? Like, it's just like a death spiral. Bro, we got carbon credits, bro. Emissions credits, bro. It's an incremental source of revenue. Yeah, it's freaking garbage. That ain't going to do jack. You're done, son.
beauty, and not to interrupt, Alan, that's the beauty of the modular strategy. Okay, we put these modular fuelers. They're not as efficient. They're cheaper. We can put them in place faster. They'll fuel 20, 30 trucks at a shot, start to build density and go there. So if you're going to start a behind the fence type thing, this is a perfect way to do it.
Okay. Well, you've got,
Yeah, trucker's going to be dense in your rear end if you buy this stock.
I know you've got the product. I've seen it. When we think about true zero emission, green hydrogen then is sort of the equivalent of an electric grid for a clean electric grid for BEV trucks, with renewables providing the energy and that sort of thing. What percentage of hydrogen is Nikola using now that you would consider green?
Very low, but because frankly, it's an availability issue. There's not that much green hydrogen available. Later this year, likely fourth quarter, we will be getting green hydrogen from Plug Power out of the Georgia area.
Okay. Now, lots of companies are making electrolyzers,
Oh, they're working with old butt plug. I haven't looked at that stock in a while.
including Plug Power, to make green hydrogen from renewables. Fuel cell trucks, hydrogen infrastructure are still in its infancy. You said that, and no one would argue there. What kind of roadmap do you see towards going green, if you will, in the hydrogen space?
Yeah, we get calls every week from new players that are developing green hydrogen sites. Well, frankly, all different types, not just electrolysis, all different types. We explore those. We're happy to be the offtake for them, and we are the anchor offtake for a lot of these. These are not this year. It's not coming on this year. Slowly starting next year and then ramping up the year after that. So there'll be more of that. But a lot of them come to us, Alan, because we provide offtake and we provide density. Remember, we said on the call today, one fuel of our truck, which is even half a tank, is like fueling 60 hydrogen cars. Right, we're going to basically double the mobility, the hydrogen fueling for mobility in the country by the end of the year.
Well, though, that fuel cell cars are not doing great right now. I mean,
there's 15,000 of them or 18,000 of them. It's not a lot.
Most of them are doing that's
okay. This guy's trying to fluff him, and he's still, there's not that many. We're about to provide double the capacity. Yeah, the capacity's like 5 freaking cars, dork. So you're doubling a low number. That's freaking worthless. Okay. This is sad. I want to know how much this CEO is getting paid. How much are you getting compensated? Your compensation better be like $50K a year and then stock for the rest of it. And the reason I want his compensation to be stock is because it better light a fire under his butt to get this company alive. And if the company goes bankrupt, he freaking loses everything. Okay? That's how it should be. But I guarantee you this guy's making like $1 million a year cash. If I worked at Nikola, I'd be like, you pay me in cash. I ain't doing Nikola stock. You pay me in cash. How much is Mr. Egghead here? Well done or whatever. Over medium, whatever. Scrambled. How much is this freaking clown making?
Okay, I mean, it's a fair point, though, about, doubling the amount of hydrogen in play. I mean, that's a fair point.
And we're just getting started.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just getting started. Yeah, we're not about to go bankrupt in less than a year. Going concern. Oh, no.
I want to ask you, though, from a hydrogen perspective, is there something that, sort of advances that, quickly? Is that maybe a partnership that you could do? I mean, I always end up talking about Cummins on like every call I do. I think every podcast I do, they're making a lot of electrolyzers. Is that a good partnership for you? You had something with Nell in the early days before you were running the company. But
look, if a publicly traded CEO is showing up on a channel like this, like they're freaking desperate. Okay, so desperate for any attention. He's obviously trying to appeal to the retail crowd. Buy my stock, bro. Yeah. Like, can you imagine Jeff Bezos coming on Strongman Personal? Oh, so Jeff, what are you doing with your investments in your capital assets? Oh, well, Mr. Bell, I just finished banging my plastic face wife, and we're doing that. Yeah, that ain't gonna freaking happen. Okay, only like the lowest of the low comes on YouTube to get interviewed like this. I'm just saying. Oops, we'll keep this small. I like it small.
Now, I mean, this.
Are we doing good here? Okay, here we go.
This idea of making hydrogen from electricity, of course, that's expensive, and then I can't let this go without talking about the current price of hydrogen. I know you don't talk about how much you're charging, but it's still $30 a kilogram, right? I mean, thereabouts.
Does saving over $350,000?
$30 a kilogram. Does it burn as like normal gas?
That's the price, the public price at the pump.
Not
what we're paying.
You're not paying that. All right.
No.
Okay. You want to tell me what you're paying?
No.
Oh, okay. It's not a date. You don't blame your choice.
You thought you sneaked that one in there or what?
Yeah, I did, actually. That's not really a full gotcha question, though, I don't think.
Okay.
And I don't have any more of those for you either. But
we're there or what?
Yeah, I did, actually. Paying that. All right.
No.
Okay. You want to tell me what you're paying?
No.
Oh, okay. It's not a date. You don't blame your choice.
You thought you sneaked that one in there or what?
Yeah, I did, actually.
I mean, I don't understand hydrogen. That sounds insanely expensive. And the CEO won't even say how much they're freaking paying for it. That's not sketchy at all. Oh, wow. What? This is a joke.
That's not really a full gotcha question, though, I don't think. And I don't have any more of those for you either. But
like, how could you do this to me? We're supposed to be bald brothers for life.
We're not, just to answer the question, we're not currently in the business of making hydrogen. We talk to a lot of people who are going to be in that business. We will partner with those people. We could be we could have a large piece of offtake, a small piece of economics. There's lots of ways to skin that cat, but there's lots of activity going on in the hydrogen production space. And we're willing to partner with lots of people. Again, finding this like-minded coalition, this purpose-built coalition is what we're after here.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, you definitely need a coalition to bail your almost going concern bankrupt butt out, boy.
So Thomas Upgrade made one reference. I thought it was two, but just one to your next gen truck on your call. And he referenced that. Is this going to be the long haul sleeper cab truck that was originally, I think, known as the Nikola 2, I believe, back in the day? Is that kind of what you're looking at? Or are you looking at refining what you do for the sort of port work and what we call mid-range kind of stuff? What do you think what's happening with that?
Alan, we're not giving a lot of details on next gen. Suffice it to say, it's going to be significantly lower cost and better performance.
Trust me, bro, it's gonna be way cheaper because you're not gonna freaking be here for next gen. This company is done. I'm telling you.
We're not giving any more details beyond that, but I think a perfect question for FreightWaves readers is, would you like to see Nikola build a sleeper cab?
Okay, well, you've got the perfect audience here to answer.
I'd like to see you go bankrupt.
That. And so people, if you want to know, just drop me a note at aadler@freightwaves.com and I'll ask Steve. And then he can tell you. So let's get you out of here on this, Steve. Autonomy is interesting. You announced back in early 23 that you would make plus autonomous technology, not level 4, but kind of level 2 plus autonomous technology.
Of course they're going to offer autonomous technology. It's like Tesla, bro. Tesla's green and autonomous. And Robotech. You're going to announce freaking robots next? Are you following the path of Clown Elon's scumrat? Just pumping random trash to pump your clown stock? Well, it ain't working for you, bussy boy.
Technology standard this year. What's the status of that right now?
We're working internally on a level 2 plus system. We will be relying on partners for either add-ons to our system or their system. And for level 4, we're going to rely on partners. It's not something we have the resource.
We're working internally. It's just an empty room. It's like their janitor closet. That's them working on level 2. They should be focused on we're about to go bankrupt. We need to find new jobs.
To do internally right now, so we'll rely on partners, and we are experimenting with a number of players.
One of the things that hydrogen was going to do originally, because we weren't going to have hydrogen replacement fueling stations across the country, we're going to have 170,000 hydrogen stations, but there were going to be routes that had a hydrogen station at each end. That almost seems to mirror the idea of autonomy, which also does hub-to-hub kind of work. Now, Hyundai, I brought them up earlier, but they said they're testing level 4 with plus. And with autonomy sort of seen as a long-haul, middle-mile solution, it seems, like I said, it seems to go well. How complementary do you see the two of those, hydrogen and autonomy?
I think hydrogen is long haul. I think it could fit somewhere down the line. We have a lot of software in our truck. Autonomy is a software-driven add-on to the truck. If there was hypothetically a next gen, we would make it sensor capable.
Yeah, they probably have their software powers the retractable butt plug for the driver.
For which sensors, each autonomy system may need different sensors. We'd want it capable for those. So I think it does fit well with hydrogen and autonomy long haul.
Down the road, yeah.
I mean, autonomy works with anything. It's like a gas car, freaking electric. It doesn't freaking matter if it's hydrogen. What a stupid question.
Okay, Steve, I'm going to give you the final word. I really did get through my question list. I'm really surprised. And I don't like doing question and answer, but it was so much I wanted to catch up with you on. So
thanks, Alan. Happy to catch up anytime.
Okay.
So I appreciate it. And just remember, there's more interest in this company than there's been since I've been here. Interest from customers, interest from potential partners, interest from investors. And it's just about converting that interest, doing what we said we're going to do. And look forward to seeing you next year, Alan.
All right, we'll make the date right now, August next year. Let's get back together. And
no, I ain't getting back together. They both know it too. Look at them. This company is so done, dude. Unless a miracle happens, this company is done. Done, son.
Talk about this. I presume I'll have a podcast. I don't know. I hope I do. But
I'm sure I'll see you before next year anyway.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. All right, listen.
Yeah, down to the hydrogen fueled truck stop.
And thank you, Steve, so much for coming on again and for being with us here at Truck Tech.
Thanks, Alan. Take care, everybody.
All right, so folks, we are.
Oh my God! All right. That was a disaster, man. That company is going bankrupt. You know what? I'll stake my entire reputation on it, and if I'm wrong, I just won't talk about it anymore. Okay. So that was a sponsored video. And if you want a sponsored video, see the pinned comment below. I'll basically do whatever you want except do stock price predictions. Let's do some comments. They beat the analyst. Oh, yeah, they had a beat, bro. Instead of negative 150 million, they had negative 122 million. Wow, that's really good, Nikola. Make strong man great again. I've always been great, boyo. Vote for Geodis. What do you think would change the trend? What they got to start selling like a ton of trucks. That's their problem. They're not selling enough. They have all this overhead, and they're just not selling enough trucks. And it's so late in the game that they don't really have a lot of sources of capital. Stock? Well, the stock's like a penny stock, basically. Didn't they have to do like a 1-for-30 reverse split? They're done. Okay. Nobody's going to lend them freaking money. Interest rates are sky high. Would you lend Nikola money? I wouldn't. I got here late. Yes, with margin, like Khmer. More blue pill content. We'll get it. I've been busy. Okay. LOL, LOL. Hi, what's up, Recon Pro? Any other videos? Yeah, I think I might do one more. Greetings and salutations. Are there any juicy premiums on this stock? I did not look at options, if that's what you're talking about. Can you do a live reaction to the Trump and you know what debate? Well, that would cost $200. Okay. I hate politics. I don't want to do any of that crap. I got other things to do. If you want me to do a live reaction to Trump and Kamala, it's going to cost $200. I don't even know how long that freaking debate's going to go. So, yeah, but I would not do that voluntarily. I'd buy Lucid before I buy this, but if I had a choice, how about you just don't buy either of them? Bankruptcy Mullocks. Nikola will be $1 trillion company, losing money head over fist and burning cash. Anyway, that's a reaction video, sponsor video. If you want to see the pinned comment below, check out my book, Stop Being a Broke Loser. It's on Amazon. You'll 10x your money in 5 seconds. And if you want a one-on-one tutoring session to go over financial statements, to learn financial statements, $75 an hour. I'm a certified public accountant. And you guys have a wonderful day. Cheers!